You guys have been loving the Tea After Midnight series, which makes me so happy because I love making these for you. And with that being said, I figured I would bring you a special edition episode tonight. Megan sent over a story that happened to her and her best friends a couple of years ago in the Appalachian Mountains on Valentine's Day. So with that being said, grab your favorite tea and settle in and let me tell you a scary story because of course, this is Tea After Midnight. Very good. This story comes from Megan. Hi Savannah, I love watching your Tea After Midnight series, and I wanted to send over a story that happened to me and my three best friends. With Valentine's Day coming up, it's brought up a lot of memories for me as this story happened a few years ago on Valentine's Day. My name is Megan, my three best friends are Lily, Danielle, and Jess. A few years ago, my friend Danielle had pitched the idea that for Valentine's Day, all of us girls could rent a cabin in the mountains to have a Galentine's Day. All of us being single at the time were very excited about this idea. I was in charge of booking the cabin rental, and the other girls were in charge of what we would do while we were up there. Also, I wanted to add that we live in the city, and we rarely get to go to the mountains, so when Danielle pitched this idea to us, we were very excited. Fast forward to the trip. The night before we left, all the girls came to my house to make it easier for us to leave from my house to head to the mountains where the cabin was at. The cabin was tucked away in the Appalachian Mountains, and looking at the listing of the cabin, I could tell this would be a fun trip. The cabin was newly renovated and looked absolutely beautiful. So the day that we left, we woke up early, packed up the car, and drove several hours away to this cabin. The drive was great. We all had the best fun, laughing, talking, and singing. The GPS told us to take a right onto the driveway, and as I got closer to the cabin, I started to feel nervous. The cabin was a little bit farther into the woods than I would have liked, but when we pulled up and saw how beautiful this cabin was, it put my mind at ease. I could tell by the other girls' reactions that they were so excited. We hopped out, grabbed all of our bags, and started heading into the cabin. We took the evening to get settled into our rooms, and then we cooked dinner and had the best girls' night ever. Everything was going fine until the middle of the night, the first night. All of the girls except me and Danielle had gone to bed. Danielle and I stayed up watching a movie because we weren't ready for bed. As we were watching the movie, I kept hearing scratching outside. Danielle had turned to me and said, "Can you hear that?" I told her yes I could, and that it was probably just a raccoon or an animal outside. It eventually stopped, so we continued watching the movie. About 30 minutes later, Danielle said she was going to bed, but I still wasn't tired. For some reason, I've always had trouble getting settled into new places, but after all that driving and activities we did that evening, I figured that I would be exhausted, but it was quite the opposite. I stayed up and kept watching the rest of the movie. That's when I heard the scratching noise again. It really wasn't that loud, but it was definitely noticeable. I got up and peeked out the window, but I couldn't see anything, so again, I figured it was